ABC, it's Greeno. Wanted to do a contest entry for Robert Z, celebrating 500 subscriptions. Congratulations, man. Love your channel. If you're watching one of my videos and you haven't checked out one of Robert Z's crazy ass videos, do so. Always entertaining, always showing cool stuff, and just great VC member. Yeah, great guy. So I don't enter a lot of contests. I've never ran one, and I don't run them because I don't enter them. Just because I'm lazy at times at pulling stuff off the shelf, and I apologize for that. I should do more of this kind of stuff, but I'll try to in the future, but I'm just bad at it. But anyways, saw this one pop up, and it's like, wow, you know, I think most people that sees this video, which is show your Grails and kind of talk about them, and when you first see that as a thread, it's like, wow, it's a chance to show a bunch of my, you know, cool records that I, you know, are way up on the list for me in the collection. But I got thinking more and more about it, you know, and it's like, you know, I want to get a little deeper into this and just talk about Grails. Because like Robert said, it can be an overused term, and I'm guilty of that at times, but I try not to do that. And for me, a Grail is kind of defined as something, an album that you've been looking for a while, and it's just hard as hell to find, and you come across it for the right price, the right condition, you know, the weather's right that day, and you pick up that album, and man, it's a Grail. It's just, you've been looking for it forever. And along with the definition for a Grail for me is, you know, can be an album that you've been looking for forever, like I just said, or an album that you completely love and you come across and you may never knew it was on vinyl. Something especially from the 90s, you know, I mean, I got some that I've had on CD forever and that I completely love, but I just never thought about looking for it on vinyl because I never thought it was on vinyl. And you know, you come across that, it's just like, holy crap, you know. But I got a few examples of all that. But also kind of wanted to touch on, you know, Grails, man. One man's Grail is another man's 50-cent record, you know. What makes a Grail? And that's what's interesting about it, you know. It's crazy. I've been out digging with people and see them pull something out, and they're just like amazed, you know. I cannot believe I just found this. And, you know, to me it's just like, okay, that's a cool album. Glad you found it. But it just completely made their day, and I'm happy for it. That's really great. So, alright, enough kind of yakking, I guess. Let's kind of jump into it. And before I get to the Grails, a few examples of what I was talking about, like what makes something a Grail. Found this literally yesterday. Shrapnel. It's like an EP, 4-track EP. I grabbed this for $3, and I've known about this forever, and yeah, came across one cheap and grabbed it. It's not a Grail to me at all. It's really not even that good. But fans of Monster Magnet, this may be a total Grail. Dave Weindorf, singer, went on to be singer of Monster Magnet. This is from 1984, way before Monster Magnet. Also, Ramones fans, this may be interesting to them. Daniel Ray, you know, produced some Ramones albums, wrote with him a little bit, and he's right here. He went on, check this guy out, Daniel Ray, R-E-Y. Went on to be a pretty crazy producer in the 90s, man. Just a lot of really cool stuff this guy produced. But it's a $3 record to me, you know, and it's very cool and interesting. But is it a Grail? No. To me, no. But that's what's cool, you know. Monster Magnet fan may see that and just freak out. Another example, not to diss anybody, I like this band, totally understand the importance of this band, but that's kind of as far as it goes for me. Meet the Beatles. Not a Grail. As far as I can tell, this is like an early first pressing. This stuff, you got to be a Beatles detective to figure it out. But I sat down and went through everything, you know, in the Gold Mine book and the whole nine. And this looks like, you know, an early pressing. Yeah, it's like $400 in the book or something. I literally found this at a church sale for 50 cents in a box. Was very happy to find it. I grabbed it, you know. But for me, not a Grail. For Beatles guys, totally a Grail, I'm sure, you know. And I kind of threw this in there as far as Grails. What, you know, what's in your collection that isn't a Grail because you had it forever? You might have bought it brand new. At the time, it wasn't a Grail, it was a new album. But if you lost it today, if all of a sudden it disappeared from your collection, does it go on the Grail list, on the want list? And if you found that again, would you just be like, oh, a holy Grail, finally got it back? A couple examples of that is the Metallica 598 EP. I bought this brand new for a penny more than what it should have been. But not a Grail because I bought it new. I've had it forever. And this is one of my favorite Metallica, you know. I love the 80s stuff, and I just love this, you know, all covers. First thing with Newstead. It doesn't get on the Grail list because it wasn't a Grail when I bought it. If I lost it, it would be a Grail. A new album, Blackberry Smoke, you know. Thought I would dig this band, ordered this brand new, and completely, utterly love it. Wasn't a Grail when I ordered it. It would be now if it disappeared from my collection. I bought this for $2 probably in the mid-90s, and it's a really rare album. I bought it total blind buy. I'd never heard of the band then. Kind of wasn't into it. It took me a few years before I got into that scene and I started enjoying 70s hard rock. It's Pooh-Bah, US Rock. This is like a crazy obscure album, you know. And this isn't in the best shape, you know. It's got some stains, but the vinyl's like really good shape. But $2. Wasn't a Grail when I bought it. If it disappeared, it'd totally be a Grail. Same thing with the Dust albums, you know. Bought these, they look cool, and fell in love with them. And if they disappeared, would be Grails. Alright, now getting into the Grails. Here's one. When I started getting into the 70s hard rock thing a couple years ago, this shot right to the top, man. It's like, I gotta find this. And I kept seeing people show it. Zach showed it, Zeke Geek. Picked it up cheap somewhere, and I was looking for it. I was like, oh, I can't believe, man, I cannot find this. And when I do, it's so expensive, or I find them just beat to shit. Broke down, bought a reissue. Lucifer's Friend, the first self-titled. Just an incredible 70s hard rock, German band. And like I said, I bought the reissue. And it's funny sometimes, within a couple weeks after getting that, got a text from Fitzy down in Texas. Hey man, I'm looking at a Lucifer's Friend, original press, in great shape. Yeah, grab it for me please. So I got an original one, thanks to Fitzy. And it was still a Grail because I wanted the original. Love it. But I still consider the repress a Grail because I looked for it for so long. This was kind of a surprise Grail, I guess. I was reading about this band, found this compilation at a record shed. Radio Birdman Essentials on Sub Pop. I grabbed this because there's no way in hell I'm ever going to find radios up here. And really dig this band. Australian band. Des Trek, can't remember his name now. From Michigan, was, you know, steeped in MC5 and the Stooges. Moves to Australia, starts Radio Birdman. That kind of music, just great stuff, man. At a record shed, found an original promo copy on Sire of the album. It was just like shaking when I found this. I couldn't believe it. Total Grail. Another example of buying reissue, and within a month, by Richard Hell and the Voidoids, Blank Generation, one of my favorite all-time New York punk albums. You got Mark Bell, goes on to be Marky Ramone, former drummer of Dust. Just a great, weird punk album. Within a month, original pops up, original on Sire. Never heard Richard Hell and the Voidoids, check it out. It's just, I don't even know how to explain it, just great New York punk. And like I said, occasionally you run across something you didn't even know it was out on vinyl, coming out on vinyl, reissued, whatever. And this is a total utter grail. Came across it, no idea it was out, and got the Grail shake. You're just like, holy crap. Steve Earle and the Del McCrory Band, Mountain. Just one of the greatest, I guess modern, you want to say, bluegrass albums. Just totally in love with this album. And when I found it in a bin at a store, brand new, yeah, I guess it's just been reissued. It was just like, get me to the counter, gotta get this. Total Grail. Then this example of a Grail, no idea it was out there either. And it's an old album. Doomwatch. This is a band from the Pittsburgh, PA area. Saw them a couple times in bars when I was in college. Great band, always a fun band. Had no idea they had an album out, you know, later on. And I came across this and was like, Doomwatch, that can't be the same. Flip it over and holy shit, it's the same band. Saw them a couple years, I guess, before, or maybe a year before this come out. And finding this was just, you know, brought back memories, but it became a grail. You know, as soon as I bought that, it was just like amazing. Alright. Here's an example of pressing sometimes. Not a grail. Totally a grail. Same album, Grim Reaper, Fear No Evil. This is, you can see the barcode, got RCA up here in the top, RCA pressing. This is the original ebony pressing. Much, much, much harder to find, and yeah, love Grim Reaper, and love the ebony label. It's kind of towards the middle of the new wave of British heavy metal movement. Ebony was releasing stuff, and Grim Reaper started out on that label, small label from England. And so excited to find that. It's their second album. Same thing with the first album. Not a grail. The RCA pressing. Total Grail. The ebony pressing. And most stuff on ebony is a grail for me. I kind of collect that label. I'm down to just needing a few, the really, really hard ones. And every time I find an ebony, it's Grail, you know. This total Grail. A friend turned me on to these guys. He had it on cassette. We burned it to CD, and I listened to it forever. Loved the album, and never thought I'd be able to find a copy. Straw Dogs, We Are Not Amused. It's on Restless, 1986. I don't know a lot about this band. I don't want to know a lot about this band. All I know is I completely love this album. There's a mystery to it, to me, and it's just a grail. When I found this, you know, freaked out. Another early punk grail. Got this from a friend, and I guess we're into the true grails here that I've pulled out, and there's many more. Grail, the term grail is very fluid, and you know, there's a ton more in the collection, and some I may consider grails when I bought them, but maybe not now. These are, you know, full-on grails. I just pulled out a few. The Dictators go girl crazy. I was looking for this forever, and got it from a friend who was selling some stuff at a very reasonable price, and was like, yes sir, put that in my stack. Was so excited and happy to get this. Love the Dictators, another New York early punk band in there with, you know, New York Dolls and all that. Just great stuff. This I wasn't even looking for. I never ever thought I would find it, and it's my all-time favorite blues album, just period. Buddy Guy and Junior Wells plays blues. Just incredible Chicago blues. This album, you put this on and you can't sit still. It's just that good. Had this on CD probably since the early 90s. And when I found this just randomly in the blues section in some record store, I can't even remember where now, and I got the shakes again. You know, it's like, oh, holy crap. Love that album. And of course, you know, some metal grails. Jagdpanzer, Ample Destruction. Jagdpanzer, Ample Destruction. A band from Denver, if I remember right. Their first full length. Just kind of the definition of traditional American 80s underground metal. This album is just fantastic. I had a bootleg forever on CD, and this popped up, an original. Yeah, had to grab it. Another friend in the VC helped me out. Never thought I would come across this. Early Dirty Looks, indie release. Another Pennsylvania band, I guess by way of San Francisco, back and forth, whatever. But George hooked me up with a copy of this, and I was looking for this forever. He had one, Gonna Let Go. We worked a deal. Thank you so much, George. And within the same year, found the other Dirty Looks. This is like a little EP they released, same label, Sticky Records. See the label here. Still in the shrink, near mint. Just, I found this on eBay. This was a huge grail, and I paid grail money for it, but totally happy, and would probably do it again. Same guy I got the Dictators from. Grabbed this, another grail, and this thing, it's in very playable shape, record-wise. Cover's got tape on it and everything else, and I don't give a shit. It's a grail. First budgie. Just a fantastic 70s hard rock. what else can you say? Check this album out. Check this band out. Just great band. This is a half Grail. Been looking for a good, affordable copy of this for a while now. Had it on CD forever, and I don't know why I didn't pick it up back in the day, but I didn't. This is a reissue from '91. Originally came out in 1980. It's Angel Witch, self-titled. And it's got a little rip here and the whole nine. But the vinyls, the rest of the cover's like near mint. The vinyl's near mint. And it's a reissue on Castle from '91. And basically this is a holdover Grail, I guess. I'm still looking for a really good copy of the original pressing at a decent price, and I'll be jumping on it. Fantastic album, ranks up there with the early Iron Maiden. Yeah, this is at the top of the list, you know, with the new wave of British heavy metal. It's just a great album. These last two full-on metal Grails. This one is Pantera. Some Pantera fans may not know they had 4 albums out before Cowboys from Hell on their own little label. They've never been reissued. They've been bootlegged forever. But I had 3 of them, and I was looking for the last one forever. Didn't want to pay, you know, huge $100 on eBay or whatever. At a record show, the biggest metal haul I've ever had at a record show. Guy showed up, he bought a collection. Everything was near mint. Most of it was still sealed. Probably 2,000 or 3,000 albums. It took him like 4 shows to keep bringing everything in. And it was just unbelievable. But as soon as I walked up to the table the first day, a guy pulled this out, and I'm like, you're shitting me. I can't believe it. I missed it. And the guy had a huge stack. He was weeding through it, and he was holding this album, looking at it like, it was $40. And he's like, And I walked up to him. I said, fuck it, I'm going to say something. I was like, dude, I said, you found that album, it's really cool. I'm just letting you know, I see you looking at it. If you decide not to get that album, please let me know. I've been looking for that forever. Yeah, it's trying to be cool. It's like, if you buy it, that's cool, I'm happy for you, but if you don't get it, let me know. I want it. And he's like, you need it? I'm like, very much. He goes, dude, go ahead. He goes, I got a big stack here. And he hands it to me. And it was just like, you know, the heavens opened and the light shined down. It's Pantera, power metal. First one with Phil. And this just eluded me for so long. And this thing is near mint. It's beautiful. And I paid for it. Didn't pay going rate for it, but $40 is a lot to pay for a record to me. And I was so happy. And that completed my Pantera. I had a boot of it. And actually, I think I traded the boot to George, so the old boot is now up in Pennsylvania. Alright, last one. This kind of dragged on, but I really like this contest Robert Z's got going, so if everybody hung out the whole time, thanks. Looked for this forever, and found a few, and they were always beat up, and this one popped up on eBay, and I got it for a decent price. Didn't pay what it usually goes for, but grabbed it. Band out of Detroit, Seduce. They got signed to a major, basically kind of around the same time as the movie, The Metal Years, Decline of the Western Civilization. They were in that movie. And this is their little indie release. And yeah, you can find their major label album easy. It's probably a $5-10 album on eBay. This one is so hard to find in good shape. And it's a Grail, man. I look for it forever. So, and like I said, the collection is full of Grails and blah blah blah. But I really tried to think about this and kind of talk about Grails, you know. I mean, it's Grails are different to everybody, man, and that's what's cool about it. Like I said, one man's Grail is another man's 50-cent record, you know. How much stuff if we all passed over, flipping through bins, and somebody else in the BC would just be like, that's it, that's the Doris Day album I've been looking for 75 years, you know. It's just crazy. It's what's cool about it. I've watched stuff, I watched videos like John, Punk Texas, man, he does all these great digging videos, and he's passed over stuff, and I'm just like, oh, John. But that's how it works, man. So, congratulations, Robert Z. You know, 500 subs, totally deserve it. Great BC guy. If you haven't, go check him out now. Entertaining as hell. And I guess that's my entry. So, hope everybody has a good weekend here in the BC, and we're coming up on New Year's, and I hope next year is full of Grails for everybody. Alright, later.